Oh yeah, gents, this is Noah from Noah's Archetypes, and today we'll be looking at a new trap card that just got revealed. And this trap card is very similar to a card that we all know, and it's called 1 by 1. This is a normal trap. It says send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one of your level 1 monsters that is banished or in your graveyard except the sent monster. Add it to your hand. You can only activate the effect of 1 by 1 once per turn. Okay, so I'm sure you all know which card I was talking about. That would be 1 for 1, and this is basically a trap card version of it, except instead of adding a card to your hand from the deck, this instead is recovering a card. And I think this is actually a very good card. So first of all, there are a lot of level 1 monsters in the game. Some of them are meta relevant, some of them not so much. So no matter what type of deck you're running, if your deck runs a level 1, there's a chance that you could use this for as a recovery option. Cards like Vampire Familiar banish themselves after using the effect, so you could then recover the card so that you could use it again later. So that is actually a decent option for some of these cards, but it really just depends on what type of deck you're running, because you could literally use it in any deck that has a level 1 monster, because level 1 monsters are some of the most popular and powerful cards in the game. Some of them are even banned the way they are so powerful, and have still not been off the ban list since they've been banned. So another example, you could use this with Effect Veiler, and that is what makes it actually a good thing that it's a trap card, because if you used Effect Veiler during your opponent's turn, you could then use this card to bring Effect Veiler back into your hand and then use its effect again. Since Effect Veiler's effect is not once per turn, that means you could use it multiple times a turn. So if you brought it back into your hand, you could use it again on one of your opponent's other monsters. So you could basically disrupt their plays by using this card. So honestly, I do think this new trap card is very good. And the fact that it allows you to send materials from your hand or field to the graveyard in order to activate its effect is also very good. So that you're not restricting yourself to what's in your hand if you even have anything in your hand left. So I really do think that they did a great job with this card. And as you can see on the artwork itself, you have Sinister Serpent, and you have the Pot of Greed, or rather the spirit that's in the Pot of Greed, and basically it brought Sinister Serpent out and fell to the ground, or Sinister Serpent burst out from the Pot of Greed. Anyway, it's an interesting card artwork. I wonder what the actual story behind this is. Maybe we'll see some of the story in some of the later artworks to come in the future. The other card I wanted to talk about is of course a new card that got revealed recently called Dark Honest. And I think a lot of people would really prefer if the TCG called it Dishonest, because that would make sense for the TCG. It's a dark level 4 fair effect monster with 1100 attack and 1900 defense. Its effect is once per turn, you can return this face-up card from the field to the hand. During the damage step, when a dark monster battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. That opponent's monster loses attack equal to its own attack until the end of this turn. So this card is obviously just like Honest, and its effect actually works in a very similar manner but in reverse, because the whole point of Honest is to increase your monster's attack by your opponent's monster's attack. That way your opponent is still taking damage equal to your monster's attack. In the case of Dark Honest, you are reducing your opponent's monster's attack by their own attack, meaning it drops to 0. So when your monster attacks, or if your opponent's monster attacks you, then they are still taking your monster's attack as damage. So it works in the exact same way in terms of how it gives damage. I would actually love to see in the future if they made an Honest for each different attribute, since it would be kind of unfair if only the dark and the light attributes had Honests. And obviously you could use this in some other decks that specifically use light and dark. Maybe if it's in the graveyard, it will then be used as fodder to banish, so you can summon some of your monsters or activate the effects. One of the decks that it would work most effectively is the Dream Mirror deck, seeing as the Dream Mirror cards have both light and dark in them, and two of their fusions are treated as both light and dark at the same time. So that would mean no matter whether you have Honest or Dark Honest in your hand, it will still be applicable for this card. That would automatically make some of these archetypes, like the Bujin archetype, where anytime you attack there might be a card in the hand that increases the Bujin monster's attack. Unfortunately, there aren't that many archetypes or monsters that are treated as both light and dark, and of the ones that are treated as light and dark, they aren't really meta relevant. So this card will see some play, but I don't think it will be breaking the meta, since this card is actually coming out a little bit too late. If this card came out a few years ago, it might have been effective, but I don't know about right now, since we've been waiting for this card and people are not using Honest as much as they used to. And the final card that I want to review is a new Life Twin monster that just got revealed, and it is called Life Twin Ki-sikil Frost. This is a light level 2 aqua effect monster with 500 attack and 0 defense. And it says, if you control a lila monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Life Twin Ki-sikil Frost once per turn this way. If your opponent adds a cards from the deck to the hand by a card effect, and you control an evil twin monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard, draw 1 card. Okay, so the second effect is a little bit reliant on your opponent drawing a card, or adding cards from the deck to the hand rather, and that isn't that bad, seeing as most decks anyway have some type of search ability. So if you do use this card as link material or get it into the graveyard in another way, you will be able to draw a card off of your opponent's effects. Sometimes the opponent does add cards during your turn, so that actually might work in your favor in your turn as well sometimes, but that is only sometimes. There was another card that was released also recently called Life Twin Lila Treat, and this is similar in that it also special summons itself from the hand, and it is a zombie type, unlike this new card. So they are a bit spreading out with the different types that you get in this archetype, and its effect has to do with battle damage. So at least there is some graveyard effects going off, so you wouldn't have to worry about them in the hand or on the field as much. And I like the fact that they are special summoning themselves. That way you can get more of the link monsters onto the field in one turn. There's of course the other fact that you could use the Paleozoics in this archetype, since it is an aqua and it's level 2, so that allows you to go into totally awesome. So if you can get a Paleozoic onto the field while Life Twin Ki-sikil Frost is on the field, then you could go for a totally awesome for some negation, and then you go into your link monsters, seeing as the link monsters do lock you into fiend monsters for the rest of the turn. So you'd have to do this before you summon some of your link monsters, but then at least you have a negation on board. So I do think that its type and its level is actually a benefit in this situation. Anyway, that's what I think about this new cards. Tell me down below what you guys think about the new 1x1 card, and what level 1 monster do you think will most benefit from this new trap card. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos, and I'll check you guys later.